am questioning all of my life choices. Where has this been all my life? This project might just be a total fail. Hello and welcome to the Faded Wildflower Crochet. My name is Rachel, and I'm not sure when this video is going to come out, but as I'm filming it, we are in the middle of February, and the weather has been awful. It's been cloudy and dreary and drizzly and windy, and it's putting me in a bad mood. Let's just say that. So in order to pull myself out of this bad mood, I thought it would be fun to do a little experiment, a little challenge, if you will. I am pretty new to making garments. As you know, I made my very first cardigan just last year. I have a whole video on the process of that. And so I thought for today, I can make my second ever cardigan by using only Dollar Tree yarns. Now, Dollar Tree and I do have a little bit of a sordid past. We've had some ups and we've had some downs. I do have a lot of questions about whether or not making a cardigan with only Dollar Tree yarn is even a good idea. Like, is it going to be cost effective? I don't really know the answer to this because I've only ever made amigurumi or small projects with their yarn before. So I don't know if it's actually going to be cheaper for me to get yarn at the Dollar Tree as opposed to just any other yarn shop. I also am wondering, is it going to be good enough quality that it's going to hold up in the wash? I'm wondering, am I even going to be able to find colors that I like to wear? I don't know, but I thought we could answer all of these questions today. I do have a pattern that I'm working from, which is this one right here. It is a patchwork cardigan, and there are all sorts of different ways that the pattern shows you that you can make it, but the primary examples have 4 different colors. So we are going to be finding 4 different colors of yarn at the Dollar Tree, and the pattern does have buttons that are optional. So I kind of want to see if the Dollar Tree has buttons too. I've never really thought to look for them there before. So without further ado, let's go ahead and head to the Dollar Tree and see what we can find. Okay, y'all, I am back and the yarn has been secured. Here it is. I apologize that I was not able to get hardly any footage inside of Dollar Tree. Apparently, Dollar Tree is the place to be on a Tuesday afternoon in my town because there were so many people there, and I just feel awkward and like I'm in the way if I'm trying to like film stuff. So I just filmed a couple little clips there, but everyone was being so nice. The cashier was telling me that she used to crochet, but now she has carpal tunnel and she can't anymore. And then the lady behind me was asking me what I was going to make with my yarn. It was just really sweet, but yeah, I didn't get very much footage. So let me show you what all I did get. Okay, here is the color palette that we're working with. I'm actually really happy with it. I am a little bit sad though, because I saw a shade of kind of a darker medium-ish blue that I think I would have liked a little bit better than this green. I think it would have gone with the color palette a little bit better, but I was working with what I had and I thought about using yellow. They had a lot of yellow, but honestly, these are my 4 favorite colors. If I had to pick 4 favorite colors, this would be my 4 favorite colors. So I think that's kind of great. And I also went ahead and picked up some more white yarn. Now, I already had one of these on my shelf, so I went ahead and picked up 3 more just because I want to give myself the option of doing the entire ribbing section in white. I think in some of the sample photos they have white, and some of the sample photos they just have a color. And I just wanted to give myself the option, so I did go ahead and get 3 of these. They did, in fact, have some crochet hooks while I was there, but of course they had aluminum knitting needles, but plastic crochet hooks, which I thought about getting just for the sake of saying like everything was from the Dollar Tree, but I knew for a fact that I was not going to like those hooks. They're plastic hooks. I don't really like plastic hooks, and I was feeling the seams on them, and I was like, that's going to irritate my hands. There's just no way, and I don't want to waste money. So I just left those behind. Which color do I want to start with? So basically what it's going to look like, one panel is going to be one color, the other panel is going to be another color, and then the back is like a patchwork thing. So let me decide what color I want to start with. I think I want to start with this blue. This is a really gorgeous blue. So I think that's what we are going to get started with, and I'll check in with you guys when I check in with you. Okay, guys, I got all of this far in, and I think I already decided to change my mind about the coloring on this. So something that I didn't expect going in was that this pattern does not tell you where to change color at all. They just tell you how to make the panels and then kind of give you some different options for color changes, but that part is kind of up to you. But what I do like is that they included a pattern tester gallery. So there are so many different variations of this cardigan. And so I decided after looking through it, I want mine to look exactly like this one. Now my colors are not exactly the same as this one, but I really like that each panel and each arm is its own color, and then the back is a patchwork look. And then they have a separate color for their ribbing. And I am going to do white for my ribbing, which I already mentioned. I figured that I would want to do my ribbing in white, so I'm glad that I went ahead and got the white yarn. So I can't match my colors exactly to theirs because I got different colors, but to kind of match the same tones, if that makes sense, I think I'm going to have dark purple on this side, pink on this side, and then I want to do the blue for this arm, and then the green for this arm. And I think that's gonna look really, really good. I also realized that I forgot to tell you like the names of these colors or anything about this yarn before just like jumping in and getting started. But this is the Just Yarn Premier brand. It is just a worsted weight acrylic yarn. And this one is called Moss. This one is called Ballet Slipper. And this is the same color that I used when I did the challenge where I made a sweater for a little owl. If you saw that video, this was the pink color that I used in that, and I love this color. And then this one is called Turquoise, and this one is called Eggplant. So we are going to take this out, and I am going to instead make one of my front panels in purple and one in pink. And I will, again, update you guys as I go along. I have no idea how long this is going to take me, but this is pretty basic, it seems so far. This is just a bunch of half double crochets, and you just kind of do some increases and decreases to make it the right shape. But I'm really, really excited about this, and it is definitely boosting my mood already. So I am going to continue on, and I'll check in with you guys later. Okay, I am here with a little update. I did finish the first panel, and this is how long it is. And then, of course, we will have the ribbing, so it will be a little bit longer. I think it's a good size. I don't know. I'm trying to trust the process. I'm still so new when it comes to making garments that I'm like, I hope it's correct. I did choose the medium size because I am a medium or a small on top. And I went for medium just because I prefer for things to be oversized as opposed to too small. But as far as the yarn goes, it does feel pretty nice. It is a little bit more stiff than I would want. And I do notice that it's like curling a little bit on the sides, as you can see. I think what I'm going to do is crochet all of the panels first and then take a steamer and steam them a bit. I know that wet blocking, a lot of people say with acrylic yarn, it's kind of pointless to wet block, but I know Michelle Jasic, I know that she always steams her sweaters, even if they're made of acrylic yarn, and she said it helps give them a little bit more of a flowy look to them. So I think that is probably what I will do. Other than that though, the yarn is really, really easy to work with. I'm not having any problems with it whatsoever. I did use one full skein, and then I have this much of a second skein left. So I definitely have a lot of yarn. I think I will have quite a bit of leftovers. I think I might go to another Dollar Tree in town tomorrow to see if they have buttons. And if they don't, I'm probably just going to leave the buttons off and just not do buttons at all and just have it be an open cardigan. But we'll see how that goes. So anyways, that is where we're at. I am almost done with the second panel, the pink one as well. And then we'll start on the sleeves. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think that it's going well so far. Again, I'm so new that this could be completely the wrong size and I wouldn't even know it. We'll see. Voiceover Rachel here because I accidentally deleted a clip that was explaining to you guys that I did go back to the dollar store and I did in fact find some buttons, but I just decided that I didn't really like them and I thought about getting them just for the sake of the video, but I ended up leaving them behind and deciding to go for just more of an open cardigan look. But while I was there, I ended up deciding to buy the darker blue shade to use for the ribbing instead of the white, which you will see here in a minute. I also decided to go ahead and work on the back panels first. This is worked in two separate back panels, which I sewed together. And I thought that that way I could pin the back panels and the front panels together to then decide what size my sleeves were going to be. Okay, that's all. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. I am questioning all of my life choices that led me to looking like this on the internet right now because I feel like I'm looking a little rough. But anyway, this is how far we've gotten on the sweater. Look at it from the back. I love these colors. I love how it's coming together. And I also love this yarn. I was afraid that once I put it against my skin, I wasn't going to love it. I am very sensitive to textures, as you guys know, but I am happy to say that this feels quite nice against the skin, actually. So that is great. The only thing I am worried about is that this, as you can see, is quite wide on me, but it's also not as long as I expected. So it's like quite a boxy look. I don't know. I'm hoping that it's going to end up okay. We do still have ribbing to add. So I'm hoping that that is both going to add some length and like cinch it in just a bit. I'm trying to trust the process. This is only my second ever cardigan. So I'm trying to just hope that it's going to turn out okay in the end. We will see. But I am probably going to end up going with a size small on the sleeves, and I will have this for reference, you know, so I can try this on and see where I want it to go to because I don't want the sleeves to get too long. So I am going to start on that. This sleeve is going to be the green color, and then this sleeve is going to be the blue color, and I think that's going to look so good. I'm so excited. I'm hoping to get this done by the end of the week. I actually have been working on this for a month, and not because this pattern takes a long time. It's actually really, really quick. Every time I actually sit down to get to work on a piece, I'm like, oh, that worked up a lot faster than I thought that it would. But I have had so many other things to work on in the meantime that this is just, it's been on the back burner. But I really want to get this done so that I have at least a little bit of time to wear it because it is March and it is going to start getting warmer, although it's not warm today, but I do want to have at least a little bit of opportunity to wear this thing. So we are going to make the sleeves, and then of course there'll be time to sew it together and do the ribbing, and that's all we have left, which I say that as if that's going to be really quick, but I feel like it might take some time, but I'm determined to finish it by the end of this week. Let's cross our fingers we can do that. Okay, so I did finish all of the pieces and I'm getting ready to seam them. Now, when it came to the sleeves, I did end up going down a hook size for the cuff portion. I just like the way that looks a little bit better. And so because of that, I did just kind of have to play around with making sure that it fit properly. So I did start on the seaming right here. And this pattern has you do a mattress stitch for all of your seaming. And I'm like, where has this been all my life? Because I did not even know what a mattress stitch was, but I recommend it for sure, especially for making garments because it makes your seams look so nice. how did I never know about this? I think just because I'm mostly an amigurumi girl, I just never have even heard of a mattress stitch, and it's amazing. So I am going to finish doing all of the sewing together portion, and then we are going to start on the ribbing. I did think about steaming all of these pieces separately first and then sewing them together, but I think I'm just going to wait until it's all the way done, until all of the border ribbing section is done, and then I'm going to steam it. I think that's the right choice. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that that's going to just help with some of the like stiffness, and also just like it kind of curls up in certain spots. Like you can see on the edge, it's curling up. But I figure the border, the ribbing is going to do that as well. So I'm just going to wait till the end to steam it. I'm really hoping that the ribbing does some magic in terms of cinching it in a bit, but we'll see. Insert SpongeBob meme here that's like 2 years later, because why does ribbing take so long to make? And I was going to chat with you guys as I was making it, but my brain is not firing at all cylinders right now because my head is killing me. And I know I talk about weather way too often on this channel and you guys laugh at me, but it's because it's windy outside that my head is hurting. I'm really sensitive to that, which is quite unfortunate because I live in Oklahoma and we're known for our wind, which is a terrible thing to be known for. We're also known for a musical where they literally sing about the wind. Okay, enough about that. Let's talk about this sweater. I'm sitting in such a way that you can't even see the bottom of it, but I did make the ribbing and I am trying it on, obviously. And as of right now, I'm not sure if I like it. I feel like it's very ill-fitting. It is like too wide here. You can see that it's like basically falling off of my shoulders, which I have very small shoulders. So, you know, that's a thing. This project might just be a total fail. And like, it looks cute as I'm looking at myself. I'm like, oh, this looks actually really cute, but it doesn't feel good. Not the yarn. The yarn actually feels all right, but like the bulkiness of it and the way it's like falling off is, I don't know, you guys. I don't know. As of right now, I'm like, did I just spend hours on this for it to be a complete fail? I don't know. How do you garment makers, how do people that make garments all the time, like that's the primary thing that you make, how do you handle this stress? Because I'm used to making plushies and it's just like, it's a plushie at the end of the day. It doesn't take that long to make. So even if it's a fail, it's like, I wasted like an hour or two. This is like days. And it feels like weeks worth of work just because I started this a long time ago. And now I'm feeling like a failure. I don't know. I'm gonna try to trust the process. I'm gonna try not to get too down. And I'm gonna try adding the border and see if that helps. But I don't have a lot of hope as of right now. Okay, so for better or worse, my cardigan is done. Now, I did end up having a little bit of a crisis last night. I completely finished the cardigan and then I tried it on and I hated it. I will insert a little clip of what it looked like. It was just way too wide, and the way that it like hung on my shoulders, it looked terrible. And so honestly, I thought about at that point just scrapping this entire video. I wasn't sure what to do, but what I ended up deciding on doing, and I didn't get any of this on camera just because at the time my family was home and it felt too weird to be filming at that time. What I ended up doing is completely taking out the ribbing section, the middle ribbing section, which was upsetting because it takes forever to do that. But I took all of that out and then I folded these front panels basically in half and then sewed that together. And then I crocheted the ribbing on top of all of that. And it is definitely not perfect. As you can probably tell, I didn't do the best job with sewing, so it's kind of like hanging off weird in some places. And so these front panels are like double layered, which feels a little bit heavy. So, it's not perfect, but it definitely looks way better now that I did that change. But we will get to all my thoughts on the cardigan in general. First, let's talk about getting supplies from the Dollar Tree. Is it worth it in the end? So I definitely way overestimated how much yarn I would need for this. So I ended up using 3 skeins of the 4 main colors. Well, really like 2.5, but I'm rounding up. And then I used 2 skeins of the blue color for the ribbing. So that's 14 skeins total, which with $125 a skein brings it to $17.50 plus tax, depending on where you live and how much tax is. It's still going to be under $20 for all of the supplies for this, which I think is pretty good. So in terms of texture, is this the softest thing ever? No. Do I prefer my Colorama Halo sweater in terms of texture? Yes. But this is not offensive. It doesn't irritate my skin. It is quite warm, actually. Like, I'm actually kind of sweating wearing this right now. It's warmer than I thought it would be. I can't tell you how it would hold up in terms of washing it because I haven't washed this yet. Maybe editing Rachel can pop up on the screen if it held up well in the wash. But I can tell you that it held up really well with my steamer. I did steam this quite a bit, and steaming it made it actually even softer. So I do recommend steaming this type of yarn. Just be careful because I did notice in a few spots where I steamed it a little bit too much that the yarn started like felting together a little bit. I was like, oh, I think I got a little too excessive there. But I do recommend doing a nice steam over it. It did help it lay a little bit nicer than it already did before. And it also makes it softer. So let's also talk about colors. I wasn't sure when I went into the Dollar Tree if I was going to be able to find colors that I enjoy wearing. Now, I'm not that picky when it comes to colors that I like to wear. I know some people like only wear black, or some people only wear certain shades of colors. So if you're a little bit more picky than me, you may have a harder time. But I feel like these colors look really good. And it's just funny going in with a different mindset, because when I go into the Dollar Tree to look at yarn, as I often do, I have projects like amigurumi more in mind. And, the colors, it doesn't really matter if I like wearing them or not. And so going in with the mindset of, am I going to be able to find colors I enjoy wearing? I wasn't sure at first, and I'm really happy with the colors of this. I am glad that I ended up going with the blue for the ribbing section. I think white would have looked nice, but it would have been like a little bit brighter, and I kind of like the way that this balances out the colors. So I'm really, really happy that I made that choice. So would I buy Dollar Tree yarn again for a sweater or a cardigan? I would say yes, without hesitation. I, again, feel like this was a complicated experience for me, but the yarn really had nothing to do with it. So let's talk about the cardigan overall, and I have to be honest, I just don't like it as much as I wish that I did. I don't feel as proud of this one as I did of my first ever cardigan, my hexagon cardigan. I feel proud of that one, and I wear it outside of the house all the time. With this one, I feel like I'm probably never going to wear this outside of the house. I will probably wear it at home, maybe wear it for videos, but other than that, it's probably not going to get worn, and I feel really discouraged about that. But I do have to chalk this one up to a learning experience. I did learn a lot through this one. I was thinking to myself last night, what went wrong in terms of it being oversized? Because I like oversized clothing. You guys have seen me wear oversized sweaters all the time. But the thing with that is that they're oversized both in width and length. So this one was oversized in width, but was like the right size when it came to the length. And I just don't like that really like boxy look. And listen, some people might love that look. For me, it just didn't feel quite right. I also learned a lot when it comes to the construction of a garment. With the hexagon cardigan, it's just 2 hexagons sewed together. So there's really not a lot that you have to do in terms of construction. With this one, it's the first ever garment that I've made where you have the separate front panels and the back panel and the sleeve that you sew all together. And so I feel like I learned a lot from that. And when I go into making my next garment, I will be a little bit more prepared. I do want to say that I do not blame the pattern designer for my newbie mistakes at all. I think the pattern is actually really good. It really walks you through the steps of how to make a cardigan. And like I said, I now feel a lot more prepared going into the next cardigan that I might make. But I just didn't know what I was doing. And even looking back on my footage where I was holding up the first front panel, I should have recognized that that was way too big. But In my head, I couldn't really visualize how the pieces were going to come together since this is the first time I have done that. I'm trying to have some grace with myself. I do feel quite disappointed. I think to myself, you've been crocheting for 15 years, Rachel. Why couldn't you do this? But I have to keep in mind, this is only my second ever garment. If I were to look back at my second ever amigurumi or my second ever blanket, they probably don't look very good. And I am only going to get better from here. At least that's what I'm telling myself. I really thought about not posting this video at all and just completely scrapping it. But I really want to share my wins with you as well as my losses, because the truth is not every piece that you make is going to turn out how you want it to. So if this has ever happened to you, I hope that this helps you feel less alone. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you going down this journey with me. And if you've made it to this part of the video, I want to know, what were you working on as you watched today's video? If you did like today's video, be sure to hit the like button. You can subscribe, stick around, let me know what other kind of videos you want to see next. You can join my Patreon where I make a bonus video as well as an exclusive pattern once a month. And thank you again for watching. I'll see you next time.